Hey everybody, welcome back to Hypermine Vanilla. We're here, and we're working on a little something here for Snow. He has been so busy making his 10,000 subscriber special that just came out that he hasn't had any time to do any road work here on his property, and he has said, yes, Lapis, I would like for you to help me. So this gives me a lovely project to work on, and we'll give him some beautiful landscaping in the meantime. We did work on a fountain for him on a stream, and we worked on a little bit of a naturalized berm here so that it looks formal and yet not formal all at the same time. And I think we'll get rid of these bushes because this is not the kind of formal that we're after. We're looking for a naturalized look for landscaping. So he says, yeah, this will be all right. We kind of like this. And we talked about a couple of things that he might like to see. And so that's what we're going to do for you here today. And we're going to have a little chat about things and stuff and all the stuff that are happening. So what we're going to end up doing is doing some more of these naturalized berms out of coarse dirt. And what I think would look really nice here is going to be like if we did like a semicircle that kind of comes out here like this, just kind of loose, not necessarily super formal or, you know, absolutely strictly a circle, but something that's a little bit of a rounding area like that. And we could build it up maybe a little bit more in places, but we're going to do the same thing on the other side so that there is availability for maybe a little bit of seating right here. I think would look really cool. So if you come into this park like drive, what you'll end up seeing when you first walk in, now we'll have to get some more brick because I think it's going to be fronted that way left and right all the length of his property. But when you first come in, there's going to be like these little secluded seating areas here, which will be really kind of pleasant to hang out in. And then we're going to do some trees and things so that they look really nice and inviting when you first come in. So we're going to do a couple of these little things right here. And the other thing we got to do is incorporate a path to our neighbor. That's me. And have it look nice there too. We're going to have a little meandering path, I think, that'll come right up over here. And then we've got Invisible Spidey. What up, Spidey? Sees little red eyes. There he is. He's still there. Just hanging out. He can be like a feature here in the area. So we'll end up doing a little bit of a semicircle here for this. I don't know if we're going to build it up a second layer of height. I think that's probably good, to be honest. And then we'll have like a secluded bench here. I think that'll be okay. I think it'll turn out all right. Let's get rid of this. I think maybe a little too far along there. And we'll fill in back here with a second layer of that. A little bit of thickness. There we go. Maybe one more here. I know it's starting to look a little too formal. And then we'll have another semicircle here. Now, we're going to end up replicating this on all of the corners, and we may have to think about what we're going to do with the cattle pen over there. I think it can stay for now, and then we'll think about where a permanent home for our cattle farm needs to be here on the server. We do have a automatic cooker at the iron farm in the natural spawn chunks that can stay there. The other thing we got to consider is there is a zombie spawner over here left by the previous inhabitant, and that's fine and all, but I think what we're going to end up doing is filling it in with dirt over the top of this. And for now, we're just going to fill in that hole so that we're safe. So no bad things happen. Now, the big plan for this is how we're going to do the trees and things to make it look nice. On this first section, what I'd like to do is, if you see how there's some acacia trees here, what I'd like to do is plant a couple of smaller oak trees on top of the berm so that they possibly won't be the super tall ones, and if they are, we'll just kind of deal with it. Just for a little bit of green dense foliage here. Maybe that's a little too regular for that. A little too thick. I'm just kind of working out how I want it to look. And we could actually have one here in front. Maybe another one here, 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 and here. So that these things, now we'll see how quick these will grow. These may not because they're so close. It is raining, so let's go have a little nap in our house, and we'll be right back. All right, welcome back. We're going to go ahead and bone meal a few of these trees out. So I just want them to be small trees. I don't want them to be giant-sized trees. Hopefully they won't get huge. I just really want tiny ones that grow little green berms right here that are very nice. You can be big though. Yeah, that's fine. I think we'll get rid of that one and that one since they aren't really prevalent. Let's do this one here since it was the first one to grow on the other side. Perfect. See if we can get this without spending too much bone meal. I only got a little bit. I may have to run over to the skelly spawner to get some more. So that's what we'll end up doing. So the reasoning behind putting the oak trees here is that when you first walk in, these brick walls kind of cover the trunks. You don't really see them, you just see the green, which is fine. And then what we're going to end up putting in the background are these nice tall acacia trees. We'll probably end up putting them, a few of them here. 3, 4. Let's do 4 of them and see how they grow. And we'll do that on all of this. All of them around here so that they are part of the landscape at this point. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. So this could grow up a lot more stately in this area so that they're a lot taller. You see, most of them end up being taller trunks with a smaller platform of tree on top. And that's fine. That's kind of how we want that. And what I want to do for these smaller ones is put birch trees along the top of the berm because they will actually show their white trunks when you arrive from the gate. And the reasoning being is that it will just give you like a colorway, a field of color when you walk in, so you'll be able to see that on the backside there. I'll tell you what, we'll get rid of this one because I want to be able to see that, and we will fill in with some of these ferns and greenery, which I think are kind of cool. And then we'll just allow these others to grow normally since I don't have very much bone meal left. And then what I want to do is just put some ferns in. You naturalize it some so that it fills in nicely. You feel kind of like you're in a wooded landscape to some extent. And then we'll come back in and do some benches, and we'll have to consider some lighting as well. I don't really want to leave it to just fate to have like torches and things. I really want to be able to do something a lot more, what am I trying to say? Deliberate is the word I'm looking for. I want something a little more deliberate when we do this. I want it to be thought out and well lit so that mobs and things don't spawn when they don't need to. Most definitely is a consideration we gotta think about. And I'm gonna end up getting some more bone meal because I want to be able to bone. I think you could bone meal ferns and get more. I'm gonna have to try it and see. But for now, that's going to do for this part of it. Tell you what, let's go ahead and put some of our things away, and then we'll go over to the skeleton farm over here. I don't know if you guys have been there or not recently, but we'll go. Let's go bone meal the rest of them and see how they turn out. And if we don't like how they've grown, we're just going to chop them down. No biggies. No stress. No mess. Okay, he's not going to grow. He doesn't like us. He's not going to grow. That one will. Will you grow? Yes. Okay, so that we have kind of a secluded seating arrangement there, which is nice. We've got a secluded seating arrangement here. That way you can have a park full of people, and it doesn't feel like there's that many people here. Put one of those there, one of those there, and there, and there, and there, and there. And can we get more of these? No, once it's tall, it's tall. That's all you get. I was hoping we could bone meal to get more. So we'll have to make an adventure over to get some of that at the other place. Let's see how these grow. I like how these are turned out. I like the echinacea trees. The shape of them, they kind of reminded me of a very mature oak tree, kind of, and how they do that. Oh, a whole stack of that already. So fast it goes. So fast. And so this is actually kind of nice how that works. Let's have a look at that from back here. I don't know if it's quite the idea that I had in mind, but it works. Definitely looks like it's a forested area, but with the berms it kind of gives it a thought out plan, which I like. I like how that looks. Alright, so let's go ahead and bone meal this side of it and see how it turns out. And if we don't get very tall echinacea trees in back, a few of these may have to be pruned or culled from the herd, so to speak. And then we will definitely bring in ones and replant them so that they can get big and strong. Come on, tree. You're just not going to grow it? You're not going to do it, are you? Sometimes they just won't. I don't know why. Now, surely you will. There you go. Perfect. There's one. Will you grow? No. Okay. Do these ones in the back, and then we can be prepared to actually add a little bit of color here too. We can put in some flowers along this way and just see how it turns out. Hopefully this doesn't look too overgrown. I'm hoping not. I'm hoping it turns out really well. I'd like to also get a look at it from Snow's Castle, just to see how that turns out. See, like that one is really short. I don't know if I like that plan or not. We'll see. He says the plan is not to recreate Australia. I was like, all right, that's fine. We don't have to. But the idea was to make it look a lot more naturalized. He had given me some examples of the some of the botanical gardens in Victoria. So that was always a lovely thing to do. To try to emulate something in real life is actually a really good idea in Minecraft. It kind of gives it a unique look. Instead of just flat Minecraft, you can make it look a lot more lifelike. Grow, tree. I'm going to force you to grow with all the bone meal. Grow. By golly, it just won't, will it? Now, get rid of the tall thing next to it, it will. Sadly. Should have used my shears for that, that thing. Yeah. Get rid of this one. Okay. Very nice. So that's how that's going to work with the berms. We can work on some seating as well. And also this little meandering path that's going to come out here. Hey guys, welcome back. We have finished with the hardscape of our landscape, which is the defined areas for seating. We have all of the trees grown in now. We have some of this soft ferns in place where I went and gathered some ferns and put them in here. And I really kind of like the glade feel of this area. Now, this, of course, the cows, we're still going to have to think about what to do with those. But this, I really like how this turned out and how it appears when you first walk into the area. It's kind of like a bigger, established botanical garden. I just really like how it's turned out. Snow had some flat areas here. Then I actually kind of like how they turned out too. I may do a little bit of tweaking to some of this and bring it so that it is a more prevalent area in behind them, so it's a little flatter in behind. So that'll work for those areas. We're going to sleep here in his castle for a minute while the dark is here. Yay, mornings. So what I'd like to do now is go ahead and build up some of these nice benches that we had talked about where there's going to be seating arrangements. And you know, the acacia wood is so prevalent here. Let's go ahead and use a little bit of that for planks and half slabs and stairs. Let's do a couple of these. Just do them all like that. And then we can do quite a bit of these like this. We will do some stairways. That's enough to do 4 benches. That'll actually be enough. So what we'll end up doing here is like this. I do have some of these cool flowers, so what I'm going to end up doing is the colored ones I think I'll place in behind because they don't really go with some of the landscape that I have established for the rest of it. So we'll do it along this little walk path to my area, which is kind of pretty, or in behind the trees so that they're not as noticeable and still look nice. We'll do a little bit of that. And then we have some here, but what I want to do is find white flowers particularly. And these ones, the azure bluets, which I really like, I think look really cool. So what I want to do is place them here where the white will show when you first walk in. I think that is just a nice pop against the green. And we'll try to do some sweeping waves of that along this area as we come in. Now I'm going to leave these naturalized to the ferns and to the coarse dirt that we have here. No dandelions here. Because I think that is just how I want this to appear when you walk in. I want it to kind of look, you know, planned. It's like there's no accidental flower placements is what I'm after. So let's go ahead and establish how we're going to do our benches. All right, this little fern of mine, it may have to just go, and this one too. So for this area, we'll replant it, but what I want to do is this. Let's go ahead and put a couple of dirt blocks here to base this on, and then we'll put our bench pieces on it, like so. Let's do this. I think that might be too high up. You guys didn't know what I was planning, but let's do this. And we'll do another one here. And see, here is a nice little bench area. And then we can go ahead and replant our fern kind of right next to it, like this. And bone meal it up so it's tall and behind there. So there's a little park seating bench, which I like a lot. I don't know if we're going to put lighting in or not, because what we can do here is, since it's stairs, the light will actually come through the stairway at night and look really nice. And this is regular dirt. I've got so much of this coarse dirt on me, I'm going to have to be careful with it. And so there is one seating area, and I'm going to do the same thing over here. Again, our little friend has to be clipped because I went to a lot of effort to get those ferns. I don't want to waste them. Put you there. And we're going to have to get a couple more of these stairways. Just because I didn't quite make enough. Alright, you gotta go. There's that. Like so. And then we'll go ahead and put the lighting underneath. And we'll, hopefully, all this light will show through underneath when it's dark, so that there is some natural light that it comes through there. That would be very nice to have that happen. Regular dirt, again. Boom, like that. Okay, I like that. There'll be a little seating bench area there. We'll put another one over here. Let's go ahead and make some of these benches. And once I have that finished, I'll bring you guys back in again. See you soon. Wow, you guys, I love how this has turned out. It's got such a rich tropical feel. Even at night, with some of the subtle lighting that is here, it just turned out really well. If you've ever been to a well-maintained tropical kind of botanica garden, it very reminiscent of that. Reminds me a lot of the time I spent when I went to the coastal areas of the United States and also in the Caribbean, believe it or not. It kind of gives you that feeling where it's just kind of a nice, warm, kind of lush feeling where, you know, the possibilities are there for just all kinds of things to happen. So I love how this has turned out. I love the garden area, and I hope that Snow enjoys it too. We'll get his reaction, I'm sure, sometime soon. So for now, thank you for joining me on the Hypermine server. I think that this is going to be a lovely addition to Snow's garden. We'll see you next time, guys. Have a great day.